Before Paris Fashion Week even officially began, something unusual was already happening. People weren't just talking about fashion. They weren't talking about designers, collections, or celebrity guests. Instead, social media was filling up with one question. Would Jimin and J-Hope actually be there? For days, fans had been watching every clue they could find. Airport sightings, flight rumors, reports from fan accounts, tiny details that might suggest two BTS members were preparing to return to one of the biggest fashion events in the world. Nothing had been fully confirmed at first, but that didn't stop the excitement from building. The possibility alone was enough to send ARMY into detective mode. And when confirmation finally arrived, the reaction was immediate. Across social media platforms, fans celebrated as if a major event had just been announced. Because in many ways, it had. This wasn't simply another fashion appearance. For many fans, this felt like the return of two familiar figures to a stage where they had already made history before. But nobody expected what would happen once they actually arrived in Paris. Because within hours, it became clear that Jimin and J-Hope weren't just attending Paris Fashion Week. They were becoming one of the biggest stories of the entire event. And that was only the beginning. As soon as videos from Paris started appearing online, fans noticed something different. The energy felt bigger. The crowds looked larger. The anticipation seemed stronger than ever. Every new clip generated thousands of reactions within minutes. Every photograph sparked discussions. Every appearance became headline material. And suddenly, Paris Fashion Week was no longer being viewed only through the lens of fashion. It was also becoming a major BTS moment. What made the situation even more interesting was the timing. Both Jimin and J-Hope arrived during a period when excitement surrounding BTS was already growing rapidly. Fans knew important activities were approaching. They knew the members were preparing for upcoming schedules. They knew something significant was on the horizon. That made every public appearance feel even more meaningful. Nothing felt random. Every moment seemed connected to a much bigger story. And once Jimin stepped into the spotlight, the attention reached an entirely new level. The moment he appeared, cameras immediately turned toward him. Photographers began calling his name. Fans started cheering. Videos from the scene quickly spread online. Even people who weren't following the event closely suddenly found themselves watching clips of Jimin's arrival. There was something about his presence that immediately captured attention. Many fans commented on how comfortable he looked. Others pointed out how confident he appeared. Compared to previous public appearances, some viewers felt there was a new level of ease in the way he carried himself. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't forcing anything. He simply seemed completely at home in the moment. And people noticed. The photos began circulating almost immediately. Within a short period of time, countless images were being shared across social media. Fans discussed his outfit, his hairstyle, his expressions. Even the smallest details became conversation topics. But perhaps what stood out most was the reaction from the crowd itself. The excitement wasn't limited to a few fans standing near the entrance. Large groups had gathered, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. Many arrived carrying banners. Others held photographs. Some had traveled long distances, simply for the chance to witness the moment in person. The atmosphere became impossible to ignore, and while Jimin was generating enormous attention at Dior, something equally remarkable was happening elsewhere in Paris, because J-Hope was creating his own wave of excitement. One of the reasons J-Hope consistently attracts attention in the fashion world is because he rarely repeats himself. Every appearance feels different. Every outfit tells a different story. Every event showcases a new side of his style. That unpredictability has become part of his appeal. People genuinely want to see what he will do next. And in Paris, he once again gave everyone something to talk about. The response online was immediate. Photos began spreading rapidly. Fashion accounts shared his images. Fan communities celebrated his return. Media outlets highlighted his appearance. And before long, discussions about J-Hope were appearing almost everywhere. Many fans pointed out how naturally he seemed to fit into the environment. Others praised his confidence. Some focused on his ability to command attention without appearing like he was trying to. That quality has become one of his trademarks. Whether he's performing on stage or attending a major event, people often find themselves watching him. And Paris was no exception. But despite the enormous attention each member received individually, one particular moment created a different kind of excitement. Because eventually, fans saw Jimin and J-Hope together. And that changed everything. The videos weren't complicated. There wasn't a major announcement. There wasn't a dramatic reveal. Yet the reaction was massive. Simply seeing the two members together in Paris was enough to send fans into celebration mode. The reason was simple. Moments like these remind fans of something they've always loved about BTS. The connection between the members. Even during busy schedules. Even while representing different brands. Even while attending separate events. Seeing them together creates a feeling that resonates deeply with fans around the world. That feeling was visible throughout social media. Comments poured in from every direction. People shared screenshots. Videos accumulated views rapidly. Fans discussed every interaction they could spot. For many viewers, it wasn't just about fashion anymore. It was about seeing two BTS members enjoying a moment together. And as heartwarming as that was, another topic quickly began dominating conversations. Madrid. Because while Paris Fashion Week was capturing headlines, fans knew an even bigger event was approaching. The upcoming BTS activities in Madrid had already become a major source of excitement. As more members arrived, anticipation continued growing. Fans began discussing travel schedules, possible rehearsals, potential surprises, and what the upcoming performances might look like. Nobody wanted to miss a single update. That created an interesting situation. Instead of Paris being viewed as the destination, many fans started seeing it as the beginning of the next chapter, a chapter leading directly toward Madrid. Every new sighting suddenly carried additional meaning. Every appearance felt connected to what was coming next, and that only made the excitement stronger. Because BTS fans understand something very well. Sometimes the moments before a major event can be just as exciting as the event itself. The preparation, the anticipation, the speculation, the countdown, all of it becomes part of the experience. That's exactly what was happening now. Paris had become more than a fashion stop. It had become a bridge between important moments, and millions of fans were watching every step along the way. But there was another reason people couldn't stop talking about Jimin and J-Hope. Their influence continues to surprise even industry observers. For years, discussions about their impact have extended far beyond music. Fashion brands have experienced increased attention, products have sold out, online engagement has skyrocketed. Media coverage has expanded. The phenomenon has repeated itself again and again, and Paris Fashion Week provided another example. The amount of attention generated by their appearances was impossible to ignore. Photos circulated globally. Videos reached enormous audiences. Discussions continued long after events ended. Even after they left individual venues, conversations continued. That level of influence isn't easy to achieve, and it's one reason major luxury brands continue investing in relationships with global ambassadors like Jimin and J-Hope. Because their impact extends beyond traditional celebrity appearances, people genuinely care about what they do, what they wear, where they go, and what comes next. That kind of connection cannot be manufactured overnight. It's built over years. Years of music, years of performances, years of memorable moments. Years of trust between artists and fans. And in Paris, that connection was visible everywhere. From the crowds outside venues, to the reactions online, to the endless stream of photos and videos being shared across the world, the evidence was impossible to miss. But surprisingly, some of the most memorable moments happened after the fashion shows themselves. Because even when official schedules ended, interest remained incredibly high. Fans continued searching for updates, new sightings emerged, additional videos appeared online, and discussion showed no signs of slowing down. In many ways, that may be the strongest indicator of their influence. Attention didn't disappear once the cameras stopped rolling. It continued, hour after hour, day after day. And with Madrid approaching, the excitement only grew stronger, because everyone knew the story wasn't over yet. Not even close.
What happened in Paris may have dominated headlines for a few days, but for many fans, it felt like the opening scene of something much bigger. And if the reaction in Paris is any indication, the next chapter could become even more unforgettable.